Hello, we're going to spend about the next week in this packet learning about supplementary and vertical angles today, and then we're going to go on to parallel lines and transversals and all the relationships with angles there. This is information that will be very helpful in geometry next year, and the AS stands for Advanced Studies because this is something that is taught in advanced studies, and you guys just didn't get the opportunity to learn it last year, so we're going to do it this year. So first off, we're going to talk about angles that are complementary. So what you need to understand is it does say if the sum of their measures is 90. So if I have a 90-degree angle, and we know it's a 90-degree angle because this little mark right down here that shows that it's a right angle, that is 90 degrees. If we, for some reason, or somebody else, puts a line right here, we know that this angle and this angle are complementary because they would add to 90 degrees. We also know that this angle and this angle are also complementary because they add to 90 degrees. So complementary angles can be adjacent, meaning they share a side, or they can just be their own free angles. The only thing that has to be true is that their sum adds up to 90 degrees. We usually talk about them in pairs. Two angles are supplementary if their measures are 180. So one other thing that I want to tell you is, okay, this is a line, pretend that it's all straight, and it's also a straight angle. So this is what is called a straight angle. Okay, a straight angle does have 180 degrees. So this straight angle, which you're going, that's a line, okay, it is, but it's also called a straight angle, and it equals 180 degrees. Now, if we do the same thing as we did it on the complementary, if we draw a line right here, we know that this angle right here and this angle right here add together to be 180 degrees, and they would be called supplementary angles. And again, this angle right here and this angle right here, notice they're not even touching, and we'll say that this one is 80 degrees, and this one is 100 degrees. I know I'm off, but we won't worry about that. That equals 180 degrees. Okay, great. Vertical angles. If we draw two intersecting lines, then we have vertical angles. And what we understand, so what we need to understand on this is this angle right here and this angle right here are vertical angles, okay? And if we had a protractor right now, we would measure and we would find out that these two angles are equal. So vertical angles are congruent. Now what we mean by congruent is they have the same measure. So congruent means same measure. Their measures are equal. Okay, so vertical angles are congruent, and they are formed by opposite angles. So another pair, yes, when you have intersecting lines, you're going to have two pairs of vertical angles. So these angles in orange are vertical angles with these angles. Okay, so those, the purple pair is vertical angles and the orange pair are vertical angles. Okay, now we look at these examples and they want us to identify complementary. Complementary is 90, supplementary is 180. Okay, and remember there's always weird ways that I remember them. Here's how I remember this one. C is before S, 90 is before 180. So C is first in the alphabet, 90 comes, and C comes before S, 90 comes before 180. So that's how you can remember. So all we have to do is decide if these are complementary or supplementary. So I take these two angles. Does that add to 180? Yes. Then these are supplementary. On number 2, do they add to 180? Well, duh, no. Okay, so 74 and 16, what does that add to? 80, 90. And those are complementary. Okay? Complementary. Good. Now it wants us to find the value of x. Now there is one flaw in this. If this were truly a picture in geometry, they would also have to show me this before I can make this next claim. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can see that these are complementary angles, so this angle right here and this angle right here adds to 90 degrees. So you can either go 2x minus 4 plus 40 is equal to 90, or you can go, hey, wait a second, if this all equals 90 and this one is 40, that means this one has to be 50. So I can just go 2x minus 4 is equal to 50. Either way, I'm going to solve the same exact equation. So here I would add 4, 2x is equal to 54, divide by 2, and x is equal to whatever 54 divided by 2 is. 27. Okay, and I bet you we'll get that same thing here, because look at our first step. We're going to have 2x minus 4 is equal to 50. So doesn't that give us the same equation that we had right over here? Yep. So x is equal to 27. Now that's the value of x. Okay, that's not the angle, because we already know that angle is 50. Okay, find the value of x. What do I know about these two angles? Well, they're on a line. So if they're on a line, they're on a straight angle. A straight angle has how many degrees? That's right, 180. So 35 plus 5x is equal to 180. Or you could, of course, just start off by subtracting by 35 and then just setting 5x equal to whatever that is. I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to, I have this one written down, I'm just going to finish this. Though those of you who can just do problems in your head, you would have already subtracted that. Yay you. And I, seriously, yay you, I don't have that ability. Divide by 5, so we're just solving an equation. Okay. And we get 29, so x is equal to 29. Let's plug that in and make sure it actually works. So I'm going to take 5 times 29. What does that give me? That is 145, and 145 plus 35 adds up to be 180. Good. So we could also say that these two angles are supplementary. So this angle and this angle are supplementary. Use the figures at the right to find the value of x using vertical angles. So if I'm going to use vertical angles, I'm going to say that this is a vertical angle with this. Okay, now we also realize that 125 is up here also. But if vertical angles, I know vertical angles are congruent, or they're equal in measure. Whoops, not sure what this is, so I'll just keep going. So I can say 55 is equal to 5x, and I can solve for that. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5, and I get 11 is equal to x. Okay, so that is if I'm going to solve it using vertical angles. Now, the next one says use supplementary angles, because the cool thing here is that I can also see that these are vertical angles. So if these are supplementary angles. So if I look at supplementary, see right here? These are on a line. They're on that line right there. So those are supplementary. So I could take 125, 125 plus 5x. And we know supplementary angles are 180. They are on a line, so they're on a straight angle, or 180. And we can solve this, but guess what we're going to find out? I'm willing to bet that x is equal to 11. But I have to find out because I'm just that nerdy. Divide by 5, and look, it gives us the same answer. But what it wants to point out to you is you can use vertical angles, or you can use supplementary angles. Okay, I want to show you one other thing on vertical angles, so I'm going to erase this for a second. Look at this. Vertical angles are V-shaped. See that? Vertical angles are V-shaped. And if we had protractors right now, we would measure those. We'll use protractors some other time. And make sure you know how to use those. Identify pairs of angles as complementary, supplementary, or neither. So we look at number 1. And what we realize is they are giving us this right here. This right here. Look at that. They're on a line. So what kind of angles are those? 3 and 4. Of course, those are supplementary because they add to 180. Look at number 2, 40 and 90. Sorry, 40 and 50. Kind of gave it away, didn't I? Those add up to be 90 degrees, so those are complementary. Look at number 3, 120 and 70. That doesn't add to 180, does it? No. It's 190, so these are just neither. Okay, find the value of x in each figure. Look at number 4. What kind of angles are those? Those are vertical angles, so therefore they are equal. 6x is equal to 36. They are congruent angles, so they're equal in measure, so x is equal to 6. Number 5, what do I notice? They're on a line. So that means they are part of the straight angle. A straight angle is 180 degrees, so I have 4x plus 56 is equal to 180. And then we solve that equation. So 4x is equal to 124, divide by 4, and I get x is equal to 31. Oops, sorry, forgot to show my work. Divide by 4. I get x is equal to 31. Okay, look at number 6. And the big clue here is this symbol right there. That symbol means I'm a right angle. So if it's a right angle, these add to 90 degrees. So 22 plus x minus 38 is equal to 90. And again, you could have started off by subtracting 22 from 90 and then write that equation. But it doesn't really matter because we're still going to get the same thing. X minus 38 is equal to 90 minus 22, 68. Then we're going to add 38 to both sides. So we get x is equal to 68 plus 38. And we get 106. Now at first, I was like, wait a second, it can't be that big. But it is just saying what x is. It's not saying what the angle is. X is 106. And if I take 106 and subtract 38, I'm going to get 68. And 68 plus 22 is 90. Okay, look at number 7. Number 7, we have to find the value of x. We have two choices. One choice is we can use that this and this are vertical angles, so I can set them equal. The other option, of course, is that I could say, hey, these are supplementary, okay? And you could set them equal to 180. Me personally, I'm always going to go for equal. So I'm going to say that let's get a pen though. 3x minus 4 is equal to 146. Add 4. I just want you to see that you can do it either way and it won't make any difference. So when I divide by 3, I get x is equal to 50. So x equals 50. The angle itself is equal to 146. Number 8, what kind of angles are those? Exactly. Those are my vertical angles. And we know vertical angles are congruent, so their measures are equal. So we divide by 2 and we get x is equal to 30. Great. Let's look at homework. Identify each pair as complementary, supplementary, vertical, or neither. Oh, we added in vertical this time. So you get to look at those and decide what kind of angles those are. I think you'll be fine with that. And then on these next one, find the value of x. Okay, this angle is 18. That's not exactly clear. Okay, I think you'll be fine with those. Give you lots of different practice. Look for supplementary, look for vertical, look for complementary. Oh, you're good. You're good. You'll be just fine. Okay, great. So please work on these today. And if you have questions, remember you can email me. Yes, you know how to get a hold of me. So thank you. Take care.